Welcome to the Connection Matters podcast. I'm your host, Leona Johnson. In this podcast, we explore the intricate weave of consciousness, empowerment, connection to the sacred, and cultural emergence. I believe that now, more than ever, we're being called to craft a new story, one of community, deep listening, creative potential, cultural repair, and an embodied understanding of the interconnected web of all things. Let's do the work together so that we can move forwards with authenticity and integrity, knowing that we're contributing to a healthy, regenerative culture for future generations. My mission with this podcast is to inspire and empower you to step into this vision for life. Each episode, I'll bring you thought-provoking conversations with leading voices in the field, but you'll also find solo episodes where I dive deep into my passion, connected self-leadership and everyday spirituality, giving you actionable tools to integrate into your daily life. Subscribe now on your favourite podcast platform if you haven't already, and if you enjoy the show, please share it with those who would appreciate it. It really helps when you do. You can also leave a review on Apple Podcasts to help others find us who might need that dose of hope and inspiration. Finally, to get notified straight into your inbox, feel free to sign up to the mailing list in the show notes below. This is also where I share weekly inspirational thoughts and any downloadable freebies that I talk about during the episode. My aim is to serve. I am so grateful that you are here. Hey, beautiful humans, welcome to the podcast today. So, yesterday I watched a YouTube video by Gary Stevenson from Gary's Economics. Does anybody listen to him? I really appreciate him because he's so down to earth and he speaks for the many. Sounds like he speaks for the many, not the few, and he's helped me to understand the bigger economic picture, which I know is not what you usually tune into Connection Matters for. But yesterday his message hit me really hard. He talked about the future that we're heading towards, deep inequality and instability and potential collapse, and one where the super rich accumulating and storing all the wealth while the rest of us, the middle and working class people, just stagnate, where social mobility freezes and the gap between rich and poor becomes unbridgeable. And honestly, we're seeing it, aren't we? People in power no longer truly accountable to the electorate. They're actually more accountable to the super rich who pay them. And that pretense that we've always had has now literally dropped away, and we're moving rapidly towards something that's so much more authoritarian than we've ever lived in our lifetimes, which is compounded now by global unrest and the sheer horror of the war and the manufactured famine that's happening in Palestine and everything else that's going on around the world. And I think yesterday I just spent a few hours feeling quite negative about it. So today I want to talk about what happened when I went into all that, because what came up for me, and what I'm guessing might be coming up for you too, is fear, is a massive amount of fear. And I wanted to share how I dealt with that and how I moved through it, not by pushing it away, but by remembering something that is much bigger. So, what you'll get from this episode is an insight, I hope, about why feeling fear right now is actually really essential. Not something to push down, but something really to be with, and how contraction shows up when we are afraid, and why that contraction can be so unhelpful to us living the lives that we actually want to be living. And I'm going to share some practices of creating a personal vision that isn't dependent on the external circumstances of life, and give you practical steps to clarify your values and your mission so that you have an anchor in these uncertain times. And I'm going to show you how to use your vision to resource yourself and keep moving forwards. So, sitting with the fear that I felt yesterday, it's not something that I usually spend a lot of time in. I'm not a fearful person, but realistically, if you're not feeling something right now, you're doing a really good job of pushing it down, because we are in the thick of it, aren't we? We're in the thick of very transformative times. We're in the breakdown, this time of great turning, as Joanna Macy called it. And those of us who are aware of how transformation occurs understand that there needs to be the breakdown before there can be the breakthrough. And science backs this. Systems theory shows us that complex systems often need to destabilize before they can reorganize at a higher level of complexity. For me, fear looks like closing down. It looks like really stopping believing in my vision and stopping planning for the future. Fear looks like that contraction, that pulling in of my resources and my attention to just my immediate home and just my family and only my closest circle, because I can't possibly think of something bigger. But here's what I know about that contraction. It's not a creative place, is it? When we focus only inwards, we forget that we're part of a much bigger whole. We forget that there's this interconnected web of life that wants us to live. As a business owner, my fears they're real. If people start to feel poorer, they stop investing in themselves, which is the work that I do. If the world becomes more authoritarian and rigid, my children have less opportunity. If we all have less money, there will be more people hungry, more crime, more social unrest, more blaming and shaming of each other. And we've seen it already, haven't we? In England, the nationalist flags are going up, far right marches are growing, populated by middle and working class people who are feeling under threat. They're feeling poor. And at the same time, this is rising the division with other groups of poor people, immigrants and minorities in particular, who are also feeling threatened and poor. And meanwhile, the billionaires get richer, and for everyone else, we're moving towards this situation where there just isn't enough. And I'm speaking to everyone here. Unless you are secretly a billionaire. If so, please do get in touch and let me know how I can work with you. There are, as far as I know, 260 billionaires in this country, and they own 20% of the country's wealth. Just think about that for a second. And unless you're one of those billionaires, then all of the things that I've been talking about are going to affect you. And it's shaping our future right now. We're already starting to experience the strain all around. I'm hearing it everywhere, the pressure, the uncertainty. And I was really sitting with the heaviness of this yesterday. So I just want to honour that and acknowledge that. But here's the thing. When we fall into that version of the future, everything seems like it's only moving in one direction. However, we also have a window into a different kind of future. And I know people in their hundreds, their thousands, and their millions want this to be different. My vision is for a world of true freedom and beauty, where we each have the necessary support, skills, understanding, and experience to be truly self aware and self actualized. And here in this vision for life, we all have and live with reverence for all life, with a deep commitment to connection, healing, community, and love. This vision is what caught me yesterday when I started to feel despair. This vision does not rely on money. This vision is not controlled by the powers above. This vision is something that includes all of you. And it's what enabled me to firstly sit with the fear that came up yesterday and really, really feel it. And it's the reality of this vision that taught me that it's okay. In fact, it's essential to feel the feelings and really let them flow through, because when you do that, you're not spending future energy pushing it down. But it's also this vision that enabled me to then get up and go this morning. For me, literally, I needed to wash it off. I needed to wash off the fear. So I got in the shower and I let the water wash it away. It's an amazing thing, isn't it? A hot shower. Such a gift to life. And I know that it's such a privilege to be able to turn on a hot shower at will. And I love it so much. It's also the place where I find that I have the ability to reset myself in, deeply in connection with one of the elements. And so much creativity comes up for me in the shower. Do you ever find that? So yeah, it was here in the shower that I remembered my bigger vision. And I thought about how was I going to keep resourcing myself? How was I going to prepare at a holistic level for these times ahead? But also, how am I going to prepare for the spiritual evolution that I know needs to happen so that we can see the full potential of this opportunity in history in the realm of this reality? Just sit with that for the moment. I have a mission. I want to share with you my mission. My mission is to inspire and empower courageous people like you to step into their greatest visions for life, aligned with their values and highest potential for the benefit of all. That mission is what gets me up in the morning. This is the thing that when I come back to it, I know that I can contribute and make my life in this moment worth living. So the question that I wanted to ask is, what is your vision? What is your greatest longings and vision for life? Because without a vision for yourself, what happens is that you get sucked into a world of fear and destruction and lack. And that energy is powerful. Hopelessness, apathy, blame, the feeling of powerlessness is insidious. But I believe that we are so much more than that. I believe that we as humans are powerful creators, both individually and collectively. And when we create our vision for our own life, it's not selfish. It's in recognition that when we are thriving, moving towards our highest visions for life, life is moving with us. And it's true, like on the one hand, we can never forget those who are suffering more than us. We should never push ahead with our own self-actualization over others and over life itself, but we can And we should be living the best life that we can and using the gifts and privilege and opportunities that we have to be radiant, to be whole, and be beacons of light and support to life in whatever it is that we do, whether we're the bin man or bin woman, or whether we're teaching or doing people's accounts, whatever it is, we have choice about how we show up and about what future we choose to move into, don't we? Isn't that such a better way to live? To choose to keep seeing evidence and glimmers of the world that you want to see and move towards that. I know that for me, my vision for life includes being around others who feel deeply. Sometimes I get that from ceremony, but last weekend I went to the National March for Palestine in London and spent the day with my daughter and a few of our friends, and we walked amongst 100,000 other people, 100,000 other humans who feel deeply about the sacredness of life and about freedom. And it was just what I needed. It was grounding and it was inspiring, and it helped me to live so much more presently, knowing that others feel so strongly. And within those thousands, I know that there are some courageous people who are campaigning and working and using their individual power and position to research and report and resist in ways that I can't necessarily right now. But I wanted to show up to show them that we're there supporting them. And I can do what I can do. I can boycott Starbucks and Airbnb and Zara when I shop, but these are small actions, and they're the actions that are aligned with my values, and I know they matter because I've chosen them consciously. So what are your values? The first step to really being able to answer that is to take time to get really clear. Like, how can you know that you are aligned if you haven't set out your values and vision clearly? We do this really deeply in my Life Compass curriculum program, which is literally designed to help people step into their highest potential in all what I call the 8 areas of life, underpinned by heart, mind, body, and spirit, so that they can live consciously, grounded in vision and clarity and all the tools that you need to move forward with confidence, including the support of calls and community. That's what the Life Compass curriculum is. But for those of you listening to this right now and you're wondering about your own vision, what is it worth to you to have that kind of clarity? Just consider that for a moment, because the first step to getting clear on your values is to give yourself time to outline what matters most to you. What do you stand for? If you actually take the time to draw this out of yourself, maybe journaling and sitting with it, you can probably say that your first value is integrity, because someone who lives by what they say has integrity. And it's so important these days to be able to believe that of yourself. Kindness is important to me. Recognizing that I'm part of a bigger interconnected web of life, that's important to me. That's what I would call my values, along with loads of other things. But I didn't necessarily describe it this way, my vision, when I first wrote it down. I started, I wrote a lot of things down, and over time they became more clear so that it was more powerful. You know, I know who I am beneath the stories, beneath the fear, beneath the resistance of being seen or the fear of getting it wrong. I know, I just don't always see it. And you know, and maybe you just need to spend some time clarifying it. Step 2 in this process that I would describe in clarifying values, vision, and mission is to sit with the reality of all those values that you identify. You know, those things that are non negotiable. And just really honor yourself in those things that you've drawn out. See yourself, own it. Because from that place, you'll be able to tune into the knowing that there are others like you, others who, at their core, have these values of kindness, care, love, community, healing, growth, all of the things that might come up whenever you draw them out. And I really want you to feel that. You are someone who I bet, believes in beauty and I don't know, all of these high quality attributes that we look up to in others. And when you know and remember that literally millions and millions, actually billions of other people hold those values at their core, it can help you remember that you are less alone and that there's a lot of us. And that actually people are waking up. So, with that knowing, the next step in this self awareness process is to identify and design and speak out what is the world of your longing. Like I shared with you my vision, really, giving it some thought is really exciting and it's really creative and it's a beautiful process. You tune into what you would actually love to see, and you can be really creative and be that visionary that you are, that we all are when we let ourselves, because you can have fun with it. And then when you've written about it, you sit with it. And then you synthesize it in words into a paragraph that represents your vision, just like I did. Depending on how you feel about ChatGPT, you could play with it there. I typed the whole chaotic list of all my values and ideas and my sketched out vision into ChatGPT, and I asked it to create a few synthesized versions of it, starting with the words, "My vision is for a world of dot dot dot." And then I edited it until it sounded like me. And once I got that clarity, it was so exciting. I was really proud to read it and put it out and into the world, under my name. I'm going to read it again just so that you can feel that with me. Like, my vision is for a world of true freedom and beauty where we each have the necessary support, skills, understanding, and experience to be truly self-aware and self-actualized. Here, we live with reverence for all life and with a deep commitment to connection, healing, and community, and to love. It's exciting, isn't it? The first time I really got clear on my vision, it was so inspiring. It was something that I knew I could truly stand by. So, how would that be? The next step in the process is about finding your mission. And the way that you do this is to envision yourself in that vision that you've created. What is it that gets you up every day? What is it that drives you? What is your gift? What do you know that you're good at? And what are you determined to create in this lifetime? When you journal on this, you can usually see a thread that has kind of pulled you forwards all of your life. And this is your mission. My mission is to inspire and empower courageous people to step into their greatest visions for life, aligned with their values and highest potential for the benefit of all. Can you see how this mission pulled me forwards when yesterday I was feeling really low? It helped me get up today. and it helped me get going, and it helped me get outside and walk and connect with my mentor, because I knew that version of myself, that's what they would do. And it helped me have another sacred shower where I could tune into what I needed to do for my next podcast. I asked myself the question, what does my community need to hear today? What is true and authentic for me right now? What is true for many people right now that I can connect with? And this is what came. And I think for me, I want to remind you how important it is to stay connected to the greater vision, to your own mission within that. And I guess I also want to encourage you to take some time to sit in nature, as always, um, and be with the elements, maybe by a fire if that calls you, or by water, and let the elements support you in this work. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I hear and see people making over and over again is that the thinking that you are alone. Don't be one of those people who contracts and closes down and feels like they just have to let life happen to them. Be the creator that you are. Be someone who gets clear and makes good choices and makes those choices based on conscious foundations. I know right now that things aren't easy in the world. We can always say that I'll get to it, but what if now is the time? And all the excuses for not getting clear, for not investing in yourself, for not taking time out for yourself are the things that are just keeping you stuck or contracted or ungrounded or in overwhelm. So my invitation is to give yourself a gift. If what I've said resonates, I want you to know that I am running a nature quest in a few weeks in Hebden Bridge in West Yorkshire for those people who join the Life Compass curriculum. The reason I'm doing a nature quest is because I know how powerful it is to take the time out of time to ask these big questions. It's so hard to do it when the kids are running around, or we've got deadlines, or we've got commitments, family commitments, community commitments. So I created this experience for the people that I work with to give themselves and life the biggest gift that we can give, in my opinion. Ceremony on the land with other like-minded folk, with the elements. So I'd love the opportunity for that to drop into your vision and mission and do that greater work of really getting clear with you together. In reality, I know that this work is ongoing and it works over time. It works best with support, and that's what I can offer, and other people can offer. And the Life Compass is exactly for those of you who are sick of muddling through and struggling to take clear next steps. And, it's only £950, which can be paid in 6 monthly instalments. And I know sometimes that money can seem like a real barrier, but what is all of the clarity that you need worth? I know, I'm really, really confident that by the end of the Life Compass curriculum, you'll have done that deeper life processing in every area that you need to do to have your life blueprint, so that you can be really clear on where you want to be in each area, and you can go back to it again and again, because life isn't static, it changes. So by signing up, you'll also have made sure that you have the support in place to make sure that you do it. The calls, the community. That's why I offer those group coaching and also bring in the guest experts. And the fortnightly module training comes into your inbox every 2 weeks, so that it's not overwhelming. You don't have to do everything all at once, but you do have that regular inspiration so that you can stay with it. It's not one of those courses that just sits in your inbox somewhere on your computer. And on top of that, I make sure that it's integrated into your life. That's why I offer the regular in-person and online opportunities to join me in ceremony. So if that resonates with you, if you're ready to stop living in fear and letting the external world contract you, and you're wanting to take the next steps so that you can step into your higher potential, I'm offering you the Life Compass Quest curriculum. And if you really you're curious but you're not quite sure, I'm also offering you here and now a few one-to-one calls to people who apply this week. The link to apply is in the show notes, and if you meet the criteria, if you fill in the questions on the application, I will reach out with my calendar so that we can find a mutually agreeable time. And I don't always offer these free calls anymore. It's not where I'm at, but I know that right now, more than ever, trust is such an important thing when you're investing your precious time and your precious money. And I want to honor that. I want to honor that trust with my time and give you the opportunity to connect with me if you think it will help you. And, I've literally invested thousands and thousands in my growth over the past few years, more this year than ever, because I think I just know that it's so important to stay grounded and whole as I move forwards, as I step into my higher potential. And so I know that feeling of being so nervous but excited and ready for up leveling. And having the call with my coach last time just really settled my nerves, and I knew in my body that it was the right thing to do. So if you are nervously excited and ready for change, join me. I would love to connect. And for those curious but just want to circle around for a bit, I know that too. Don't forget to join me over on Instagram or email me. I always answer my emails, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Also, I have a little video that can tell you all the details of the Life Compass if you are interested. Also, see the link in the show notes for the blog and all the past blogs where you can get the journal prompts that I've talked about and the whole process that I've described to clarify your values and your vision in this podcast. So, until next time, enjoy the vision creation process. Don't succumb to the fear. I am here for you, and I am choosing hope. I believe that with consciousness and connection and great vision, we can create the worlds of our longing together. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to Connection Matters podcast. I hope today's episode inspired and empowered you to deepen your connection to yourself, others, and the world around you. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to subscribe, share it with those who might benefit, and leave a review. It really helps others to discover the podcast. You can also join our mailing list to stay updated with new episodes, inspiring thoughts, and free resources designed to support your journey. Together, we can build a more connected, compassionate world, one conversation at a time. Until next time, stay connected, stay inspired, and keep creating the future that you want to live in. Go well, beautiful human.